everybody, and welcome to another episode of Fund Hub Radio. Today, I am joined by Megan Reuter, the PTO president of Tonawanda Elementary in Elm Grove, Wisconsin. Today, we're going to be talking about a really awesome challenge that we have here at Get Movin' Fundraising called the 50 State Challenge for School Fundraising. Today, we are joined by Megan. Welcome, Megan.
Hi.
It's so good to have you here today. We're super excited to talk about the success that Tonawanda has had. And they are one of 24 schools last year that raised donations from 50 states. So first, I just want to congratulate you guys on that because that is a huge accomplishment.
Thank you. We were very excited that we were able to hit it. It came down to the wire, but we did it.
I love it. That's awesome. It's always great to have that little bit of competition and getting the students excited. We're going to talk a little bit more about the 50 State Challenge in just a few minutes, but I wanted to kind of have you introduce yourself, give us your role at Tonawanda Elementary, and then maybe tell us a little bit about Tonawanda, your guys' kind of enrollment, where you guys are at, what kind of school you guys are, and a little bit just about you and your school.
Sure. So I'm our PTO president. This is my first year as the PTO president. We have a population of 520-ish kids.
Okay.
And we serve grades junior kindergarten up through fifth grade. And our school, prior to our fundraiser this year, we've always done these really small little fundraisers. And, they were fun, they were great, but they're a lot of work for a really small return. So this year we really wanted to focus on this one big fundraiser to really kick off our year, and our turkey trot using Fund Hub was what we did.
I love it. Yeah, I actually noticed that you guys, this was your first fundraiser with Get Movin' Fundraising. That's correct, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So were you guys doing a product-based kind of fundraiser prior to this, or were you doing still an event style fundraiser? You just weren't using a company or?
So we had done our mascot is a tiger. So we had done a Tiger Ninja fun run. And it was more registration based.
Got it. Yep.
And it was hard because I'm a teacher by trade. And so I am always thinking of how can we make it inclusive for everybody. And so if kids can't come, if their parents miss signups, then they feel left out. And so I was like, how can we do this during the day? And this was definitely a collaborative event with our teachers. Our gym teacher, she wanted to start doing this turkey trot. And we did one last year that was very small. We didn't raise any money. So we joined forces this year and said, let's make this a big thing. And every single student in the school got to come out for an hour, during their specials time, and do our little trot. We had music and snacks when they finished, and the kids just little picture things and photo stops throughout the course. It was so amazing. Still a lot of work, but when you do all of the work for one event with huge gains, it's totally worth it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's kind of cool to see that you guys kind of had it as this, small idea the year before. You're like, okay, let's try this out. Let's see how this goes. And then you were like, okay, that was cool, but let's take it to the next level, So that's a really cool thing that I love that how you guys did that. So I want to tell everybody a little bit about the 50 State Challenge. So on Fund Hub, everybody has, when you work with us, you have a donation map that we help every school, regardless if you're trying to raise donations from 50 states or not, you can track where your donations are coming from in the United States. We also have a country tracker for around the world, but the map is focused on the United States. So Megan, that is what we have. And then we try to promote and help schools raise donations from 50 states because it kind of creates a little bit of a learning lesson for the students while also, promoting getting more donations. So every school kind of does it a little differently. Not everybody promotes a 50 state challenge necessarily, but Megan, I want you to give us a brief overview of how you guys interpreted the 50 state challenge and what inspired you to use this fun competition for your turkey trot.
Sure. So before we even started, we really wanted to focus on school-wide goals for everyone. We've heard of a lot of fundraisers where once kids reach certain amounts, they get this prize or this prize. But we wanted it to be a full school prize. It didn't matter if Johnny raised $22,000 and Katie didn't bring in any. We wanted everybody to feel successful.
Absolutely.
And so our VP of fundraising, she said, there's this awesome 50 state challenge. Wouldn't it be cool if this was another layer of prizes that if we were to get every 50 states, we could get a state or geography prize for each classroom.
Yes.
And that's what we did. We loved it. We bought this huge, I think it was like 4 by 5 foot map of the United States. And we put it in a central location where everybody could see it. And we would cross off the states once we got them.
I love it.
And we added another layer where we have weekly PBIS meetings with the school, and our principal would announce the kids that would get the donation from each state. These are already meetings that are like school-wide assemblies that are set up every week for like 10 minutes. And we would just pop in there. We would announce the names. The kids would get so excited to hear their name, and then we would mark it off. And so that was the school part that the kids did. And then we have a Tonawanda Parents Facebook social media page where we would actually screenshot the map from Fund Hub, and we would turn it into a post that would list the states we still needed. And it just spread like wildfire throughout our community. You would open up your social media and you would see that post being shared with all of these people. And we were probably like 2 or 3 days out, and we had 2 states we still needed. And it was just, it was those East Coast states. And,
they're like all this big.
All this big. And I think I'm trying to remember, we got it through like somebody's brother's, it was like a 2-layer connection.
2 degrees,
2 degrees. The kids were so excited when we finally got it and we could announce it, because it wasn't just one child felt like a winner. Like, honestly, our whole community felt like we did this all together. We were able to get a donation from each state. I had friends from different states that were so excited to also be a part of it.
Right. That's kind of the cool thing about this challenge too, is it's not only like about the donations. And it's great to get, you guys were super successful with your fundraiser, but being able to kind of get everybody within your community and then surrounding your community to be involved in this 50 state challenge, it's not only exciting for your kids and your school, but it's also exciting for the people that are contributing, because they're like, I want to be that person to get them to 49 or 50, So that's really cool that, it's cool to see that it's not only inspiring competition within Tonawanda, but also, like your friends and family, and even your friends' friends and your family's friends, So that's a really, really great point that you made. So I know you kind of mentioned a little bit about how you really leveraged social media to be able to reach these people. What were some of your most creative and effective strategies that you guys used to encourage donations from all around the country? I'm sure it's mostly like community and getting people, but do you have anything that you guys like really found worked well for you guys?
So we would do like a daily or maybe every other day post. That last week it was daily, but the map that you guys have on your website was definitely a game changer. It was a great visual that could see exactly what states we still needed. And so being able to screenshot that and put it into a shareable post. We have our Tonawanda Parents Facebook page, and then each of our grade levels actually has their own page. So we could share it on the main one, and then we could share it on the individual grade level ones. We also, so not everyone's on social media. We have weekly email blasts that our principal sends out. So she kind of gave little updates in there. It was definitely, we did fundraising for about 2 weeks. And so in our, maybe 3, going back to the beginning of the year, 2 or 3 weeks.
No, that's okay.
our weekly assemblies, our principal would kind of update the kids on the states we still needed. And so it got the kids thinking about who they might know or who, some type of connection. So the email blasts were definitely big at getting it out. Word of mouth was big at getting it out, and making those shareable social media posts, I think really was the game changer that got us to complete the challenge.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that we kind of encourage just to any school too, is just that sharing. I mean, that's going to you're going to raise 5 times more as a parent individually by sharing it. And it doesn't always have to be social media either. I mean, it can be text, it can be email, like you mentioned. So, if you don't have social media, you can still participate. You can still share with your friends and family. It just might look a little differently than those social media platforms. But those are some really great strategies that you mentioned. I wanted to kind of touch on the fact that it's really cool to see that, you're exposing the parents through the social media and the email blasts, but also exposing the children during that, and the students during that assembly, and getting your principal involved really kind of takes that to the next level, because not only are you exposing those parents via email and social media, but that those weekly assemblies, and even if it wasn't an assembly for schools that don't do that kind of thing, but just getting your teachers involved or something like that, so that those kids the parents are hearing it from social media and email, but then the kids are going home and saying, Mom, do we know anybody from Connecticut? Do we know anybody from Alaska? So being able to kind of get the parents from both ends, the social media and email, as well as the students going home and being excited from that assembly or whatever it was. I think those are 2 great strategies to kind of be effective. Mm-hmm. Can you share a particularly maybe memorable story or moment from when you guys were trying to raise from all 50 states? I'm sure there were many.
I mean, we had, when I say that the parents were getting involved, I mean, the parents were getting involved. And I think, it was funny because these kids took such pride in being the one that their name was said because they got the donation from there. And so you had kind of mentioned earlier, yes, there's the 50 state challenge, but they also could track outside countries as well. Yes. So we were announcing that as well. And so it's just, the kids not only were it was just the excitement when they heard their name, but then everybody else was just as excited because it was just one step closer to, that our whole school goal. And I think one of the most memorable one is when we announced that we won, or that we got all 50 states. You could hear excitement through the entire school. The kids were so excited to hear that they accomplished this. And we actually partnered with a local learning business, and they helped give us really great prizes for each of the classrooms at a really great price. And so now each of the kids are remembering, I think it was Connecticut. Connecticut was like our last state.
That's funny. I used that as an example. I did not know that.
And I'm like, thanks, Connecticut. But it was like, here's that state our last state. So now they're kind of remembering and making those connections with the other states.
Right. I was just going to say too, like, it's just a really cool thing that it's not only, it's promoting community, it's promoting, like donations and raising money for your school and having this cool turkey trot as well. But also it's just a learning lesson. It's being able to pull that map up. I mean, these kids are going to know, like, this is, of course, like, maybe by the time you're in 4th or 5th grade, what the United States looks like, but especially for those younger grades, like exposing them to that kind of, geography and stuff like that, and being like, Connecticut, and we're missing it. It's up here. It's in the East, it's kind of cool to be able to merge fundraising and knowledge and learning and being able to have that cohesive, like, fundraiser almost. I mean, it's just, that's a really, really great point that you made there. So now we're kind of we've talked about a lot of great stuff here, Megan. So I just kind of want to tell our listeners and viewers a little bit about the contest and, how you guys, I know it was a huge goal for you guys to hit the 50 state challenge and have that for your school and for your fundraiser, but then also at the end of the year to hear that you guys were kind of recognized by Get Moving as a winner. I want to tell everybody a little bit about how we do that. So every year we have an annual Get Moving conference where all of our employees get together since we all work remotely. And what we do is we have a 50 state challenge report in Fund Hub for us that tells us all of the schools that we've worked with and who has raised donations from all 50 states. And of course, Tonawanda was one of those schools. So at our conference, we print off all of the schools. I think last year or in 2023, it was somewhere between 23, 24, 25, something like that. And we put them all into a hat, and then we randomly just draw 2 schools in order to win our 50 state challenge. So Tonawanda was one of those schools this year. It was amazing. And I wanted to ask you, Megan, what impact has winning the Get Moving annual contest and success of the 50 state challenge had on Tonawanda's school and community and future fundraising?
I mean, with this being our first year doing Fund Hub, we've just had an over the moon, fantastic experience. You guys have just made fundraising for our school so easy. And then, our event was in the fall, and we were contacted like earlier this year about it, and we didn't know it was on the radar. So we were extremely shocked. We were so successful in the fall, and then to add another prize on top of that, we have some larger capital campaign items we're fundraising for the school. Okay. So this is just another, it can bump us up even farther, getting closer to achieving those capital campaign goals. This is definitely something we will continue to do because of all the excitement. And I hope other schools do it, because the reward and just excitement that sparked was a better reward than anything that we could have imagined.
That's so awesome. I know. I love that we were able to kind of catch you guys off guard. You had your fundraiser, I think it was November. And then we had that conference where we chose everybody in January, end of January. So that's really great that you guys kind of were like, oh, what? We were, Fund Hub, that was a couple months ago. So, being able to make sure that you guys are able to use that money to be able to, just create a better experience for your students at Tonawanda. And I'm just super glad that you guys had a great experience with Fund Hub, and you were able to really, not only hit your fundraising goal, but be able to also hit your 50 state challenge goal. So I really loved being able to hear about how you guys did that this year. And I hope that we get the opportunity to work with you guys in the future, so that way we can continue your success at Tonawanda Elementary. Thank you so much, Megan, for being here today. And thank you to our listeners and viewers for being here, for listening to Tonawanda and how they were able to achieve their 50 state challenge. If you guys are interested in learning more about a 50 state challenge, please feel free to visit us at getmovingfundraising.com. And Megan, thanks again. I know you have a super busy schedule, so we were so lucky to have you today here on another episode of Fund Hub Radio. See you guys.